two types of operon I told you about: inducible and suppressible. Inducible and suppressible. Inducible is normally in off condition, normally in switched off condition. This is normally in switched off condition, but it can be switched on when required. Can be switched on when required. Example of this type of operon is lac operon, which we have already done. The second type of operon, which is suppressible operon, it is normally in on condition, and it can be switched off when required. The example of this is tryptophan operon. This is the example of this. The operon which you have in your syllabus is the lac operon. So we will start with the lac operon. What is the lac operon and what happens in the lac operon? So here, lac operon, this is in your syllabus. This was first of all explained by Jacob and Monod. And this was explained by Jacob and Monod in the year 1961. This was the year when they explained the lac operon. How does this lac operon looks like? It is a segment of DNA. As I told you, operons are the segments of DNA, and it looks like this. Here we have the P site, then we have I, then we have P site, then we have O site. And here we have the structural gene, which is Z, Y, and A. Z, Y, and A. These are the three structural genes. So we can call it structural gene. This is the structural gene. We have the operator gene. This is the operator gene. This P and another P, and this P also. Both are promoter genes. And this I is a regulator gene. I is regulator gene. So now what happens that this promoter gene binds with P gene. It binds with CAMP, cyclic adenosine monophosphate, and it also binds with RNA polymerase. When it binds with CAMP, that means energy is utilized. Okay, energy which is gains, that is utilized. This RNA polymerase binds with it and also with it. RNA polymerase binds with it and a messenger RNA is formed here by transcription. RNA polymerase binds with this P and by transcription a messenger RNA is formed here. So now what happens? This binds with RNA polymerase. When this binds with RNA polymerase, when this binds with RNA polymerase here, it binds with CAMP, and RNA polymerase. When it binds with CAMP and RNA polymerase, this also binds with CAMP and RNA polymerase. When it binds with these two, what happens? RNA polymerase has bind here. So what will happen? Transcription will take place. And as a result of transcription, a messenger RNA will be produced. Messenger RNA will be produced. And this messenger RNA, which is produced by this DNA, this part of DNA, is known as repressor messenger RNA. This is known as repressor messenger RNA. And here, when RNA polymerase and CAMP binds, this will also undergo transcription, and this structural gene will form messenger RNA. This structural, it will undergo the process of transcription because RNA polymerase has added up here. Can you see RNA polymerase? So transcription, and as a result of transcription, what will be formed is LAC messenger RNA. A messenger RNA will be formed here. A messenger RNA for repressor is formed here, just below I, and here it is formed, and this is known as LAC messenger RNA, and this is known as repressor messenger RNA. This repressor messenger RNA then undergoes translation. And by the process of translation, what is formed is a repressor. This is repressor. What is formed is the repressor protein. We call it a repressor protein. And what is formed here as a result of this? It forms 3 enzymes which are proteinaceous in nature. Z will form one enzyme, this will form, Y will form another enzyme, and A will form another enzyme by the process of translation. So translation will take place here, and as a result of translation, 3 protein enzymes are formed. The first one is beta galactosidase. Beta galactosidase. The second one formed by Y is permease. And the third one, which is formed by A, is trans-acetylase. So you can see this is what happens in the lac operon. We have one promoter gene near to I regulator gene, and one promoter gene we have near the structural gene. Both the promoter gene has the ability to bind to RNA polymerase. So when RNA polymerase binds, the process of transcription starts. Here the process of transcription will be for this gene, I gene, and when RNA polymerase combines with this P, the transcription will be for these 3 structural genes. Okay. Now, as a result of transcription of I gene, what happens? As a result of transcription, always messenger RNA is formed. So repressor messenger RNA is formed, and there, as a result of transcription, lac messenger RNA is formed. This is lac operon. So all the enzymes which are formed, which are proteins, they are to digest lactose. Now the repressor messenger RNA, this will get translated and will form a repressor protein, and lac messenger RNA will get translated, translation will take place, and three proteinaceous enzymes will be formed, which are beta galactosidase, permease, and transacetylase. Z forms beta galactosidase, Y forms permease, and A forms transacetylase. So this protein beta galactosidase is released by Y, Y forms permease, and A forms transacetylase by Z. Z releases beta galactosidase. The function of beta galactosidase is to convert lactose is converted into glucose and galactose. The first enzyme, which is protein in nature and formed, because see, lac messenger RNA, this is the lac messenger RNA, which is formed by transcription. It will undergo translation. So after translation, always a protein is formed. So beta galactosidase is an enzyme which is proteinaceous in nature. Permease is an enzyme which is again proteinaceous in nature. Transacetylase is also an enzyme which is proteinaceous in nature. What is the function of beta galactosidase, which is released by Z, which is, that means Z structural gene after transcription and translation really forms this protein beta galactosidase. The function of this beta galactosidase is to convert lactose into glucose and galactose. The second enzyme formed is permease, which is released by Y structural. This Y structural gene releases permease. Permease is released, and the function of permease is allow entry of lactose from outside through membrane. So it allows entry of lactose through the membrane. See, for the digestion of lactose, first it should enter the cell. And how will the lactose enter the bacterial cell? The bacterial cell has to, this is a bacterial cell, it has to digest lactose. So lactose has to enter the bacterial cell. It will enter the bacterial cell only by this enzyme. This enzyme helps in the entry of lactose into the bacterial cell. And this enzyme is produced by Y structural gene of Y structural gene. This Y structural gene undergoes transcription, forms lac messenger RNA, which undergoes translation and forms permease. So this permease allows the entry of lactose through the membrane into the cell. Okay, you can also write down from outside through the membrane. Okay, then we have the third enzyme, third A. It releases transacetylase. The function of this is to metabolize. Now I'll write the third structurally A. It releases transacetylase. This releases galactose enters the cell. Some thiogalactosides. Some thiogalactosides also enter the cell along with lactose. Along with lactose, some thiogalactosides also enter. Okay, along with lactose, they also enter. And these thiogalactosides, they are toxic. So their toxic effect is metabolized. Okay, so this transacetylase metabolizes this enzyme transacetylase metabolizes the toxic effect of thiogalactosides. The toxic effect of thiogalactosides, which enter the cell along with lactose, is metabolized by transacetylase. So these are the functions